Hi, friends. Welcome to another week on planet Earth. What a week it's been across the world. It's been interesting. And today, one of my boys started work for the very first time, his first Saturday job. And I was more worried than he was. He just got on with it. So, yeah, again, even I get worried, even though I know I'll be fine. Can't help it. So this week I wanted to talk about something that has been mentioned a couple of times with me, in conversations with friends, clients, and that is this idea of dark thoughts, where from wherever it stems from, whatever's caused it, or whenever it happens. Someone said to me, for example, I started getting dark thoughts, and the first thing I asked was, well, what does that mean to you? Dark thoughts is just two words, isn't it? It doesn't mean anything. And of course, the people explained what it meant to them, and they were all different. Of course, they were. And after a bit of conversation, I introduced the idea, the possibility that it is just a thought. That's all. It's not caused anything. All you've had is a thought. What also popped in my head as well later on, actually it was early this morning, well, it's interesting we talk about dark thoughts, but no one actually says, hey, I've had a light thought. you know? So again, there's no meaning behind the word dark. There's no meaning in dark thought. Because otherwise there'd be a meaning in light thought. So again, it's just words. It doesn't mean a thing. In fact, a couple of times last week I did mention the idea that if I woke up tomorrow morning and thought, you know what, I'm gonna rob Lloyd's Bank on Monday, and I get my car and I get a gun and I get my balaclava, but I don't do anything with it. It's just a thought. No harm done. I've not acted on my thought. And that's what's happening. People are having dark thoughts and not acting on them. So they're just thoughts. And in a lot of the cases, in a lot of the discussions, a lot of the conversations we've had, we then kind of explored, okay, why now? Now, the most obvious one is, okay, because of COVID and because of what's going on in the world. In actual fact, I kind of stopped and okay, let's go a bit deeper. Because it's not COVID. It's not what's going on in the world. Because that's inside out thinking. It cannot affect you. What's happening in here for you to have what you believe are dark thoughts. And in one particular case, in one particular chat, it was a case that they were bored. Their insight was they were bored. And so again, through that conversation, I suggested, and it's just a suggestion, that is it that they're bored because they can't believe that what they've achieved they're entitled to. What they've achieved is theirs, no one else's. And so through the boredom, they're thinking of ways in order to vandalize. There's another word in the back of my head, I can't remember what it is, but they're trying to vandalize what they have, destroy it. They're trying to tear it up because they don't believe they're entitled to it. And that started conversations, that started insights for them and their thoughts on it. And again, it was just what popped in my head at the time. I had no plan about this. I had no thinking, like, I wonder if... No, I just kept my mind open, focused on the person, and just listened. So that's what they're going away with. That's what they are taking with them. And other people as well are taking away what their insights were, what their thoughts were. Again, completely different. And that kind of speaks volumes as well, is the fact that because they're completely different, there's nothing in. There cannot be anything in Dark Thoughts. Because if Dark Thoughts existed, we'd all have the same one. We'd all have the same reasons. You know? So yeah, Dark Thoughts don't exist. They're just thoughts. And like all thoughts, they come, they go. It's not until we start feeling those thoughts that we decide whether it's a dark thought or a happy thought or a negative or a positive or whatever label you want to put to it. They're all just labels. They're all just words helping us as best they can to understand what's happening. And we don't need to understand what's going on. All we need to know is what's happening right now. In you, in me. Like this morning when I saw my little boy start work for the first time, officially. It was weird. It was weird. But again, anyone else looking on wouldn't know that's what was happening, because it's just me, it's just my thought. So this week's story. I had to think about this one. Because I kind of, when I thought about, okay, how can I link this to a story? And I had to really dive into my memory for this one. Going back to when I was 14 or 15, I remember reading Aesop's Fables. Remember them, anybody? Aesop's Fables. Lovely little stories that all had a moral at the end. Now, in this case, like all my stories, it's not for me to tell you what they mean. I'll leave you to decipher and decide what it means for you. However, it was relevant to this week's topic. A stag was up on the moors, and it was quietly drinking from a river. And as it was drinking, it noticed its reflection. And it noticed its large, very big and proud antlers. And how big and massive and impressive they were, and how proud he felt of these amazing antlers. There was no one else in the herd who had antlers like them. He was very impressed with them, very proud. And he took a few minutes just to, as he was drinking, just to take them in. And to look at all the different antler parts, the colours, how sharp they were. And then his gaze fell further down the reflection to his legs. And he reflected that the legs were too skinny. He never liked his legs. They're too skinny, too short. They weren't very impressive. He wasn't impressed with them. And he's pretty sure that no one else in the herd was impressed with them. And he just wished that he had better legs. He wished that he was bored with them. He wanted something else. He wanted bigger, more muscles. And he just didn't like him If someone could have come along and wished those legs away, he would have done anything for that. So there he was, with his thoughts. And in the distance, he heard the sound of horns. And he could hear dogs barking. And immediately, he automatically went into safety mode, into flight mode, and realized that the hunt was on. The hunters had found him. So off he went, ran as fast as he possibly could, and he could hear the horns and the horses and the men shouting and the dogs yapping, getting closer and closer and closer to him. He could hear it. He didn't want to look round. He knew he had to escape. He knew he had to get away very, very quickly. His life depended on it. And he ran into a clump of trees, hoping they would disguise him. And as he ran in, he could hear the trumpets getting louder, the dogs barking louder and louder and getting more ferocious, and he could hear them nipping at his heels. And as he ran into the trees, his antlers caught on the branches, and no matter how much he tried, he could not get away from the tree. He couldn't get away from all the branches that were tangled up in his antlers. And he just thought the worst was going to happen. He was going to get caught, and he was going to get taken down by the dogs. And at the very last minute, his legs pushed with all their might and freed him from the bushes and the trees that wrapped around his antlers, and ran as fast as he possibly could. And sure enough, the dogs barking got quieter and quieter. The horses' hooves got quieter and quieter. The trumpets got quieter and quieter, to the point that he could no longer hear them. And eventually, when he knew that it was safe, he slowed down. And he reflected. And he said to himself, how could I have been so stupid not to see what I already have? I've got everything I need. What I thought I was proud of, what I thought I was impressed with, nearly killed me. And the thing that I despised saved me. The thing I was bored with saved my life. Yeah, I'll leave you with that. Thank you as always for all the kind comments, emails, and through conversation that my videos are helping you. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about. I'm more than happy to do that. And as always, thank you for taking time to watch the videos each week. I love making them. I love trying to come up with different ways of telling stories that will help and be of value to you. And again, if they're not of value, let me know as well. Or just unsubscribe. Yeah. Cool. Okay, folks, well, I hope you have a good week ahead. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you have. Bye for now.